Successful internal audits don't happen by chance. They're the result of planning, training, implementation, and follow-up. Successful internal auditors don't happen by chance either. They need to be trained.
Enjoy this preview of Introduction to Internal Auditing with Denise Robitaille.
Hi, today we're going to be talking about internal auditing. This is an overview of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the purpose of auditing. Very important for you to understand why it is that we do auditing. We're going to talk about your role as an auditor. What is it that an auditor is expected to do? We're going to talk about how you go about preparing for audits, and that comes in two parts. The entire audit program, as well as preparing for each individual audit. We're going to discuss a whole bunch of tips for how you go about conducting the audit. And then we're going to talk about the audit report. And the report is the product of your audit. Until you have completed the audit report, the audit is not complete. This is what you give to management. This is what brings value to the internal auditing process. And finally, we're going to talk about the relationship of corrective action to the internal audit process. Although this course focuses on internal auditing, the fundamentals are applicable to first, second, and third-party audits. So some of the great lessons and tips that you're going to learn today are going to be equally applicable to second and third-party audits. The benefits that gives you is that if you have people in your organization who are good internal auditors, you might access that resource to help people better understand what your suppliers can do for you. You can have them go out and audit your suppliers so that you have a better sense of what kind of resources they bring to the table. Also, for third-party audits, when your registrar comes in and audits you, they have a better understanding of the audit process from that perspective. So all of these are great things that come out of internal audits. But we are focusing on the internal audit. So what's the purpose of auditing? We have three different things that we want to verify compliance to. Your own internal procedures, your processes, your work instructions, a recognized standard, ISO 9001 being the most common. You also have other standards like TS 16949. You have regulatory standards from the FAA or the NRC. And third, you have your customer requirements, and that is also an important part of the internal auditing process. Finally, the internal auditing process is a great foundation for your corrective action program. The value of auditing your quality management system is that it gives management a reliable indicator of the integrity of your entire organization, of what systems are working, what processes are working. And in actuality, your quality management system is incomplete without internal auditing. It is an integral part of the entire system. So it's not a haphazard event. It's not something that you do as an extra when you have time. It is an important, scheduled, regular part of all the activities that fit into your entire quality management system. So what are some of those benefits that you get out of that auditing? Well, it allows you to identify problems, and that's what most of us think of when we think of internal auditing. We think, oh, this is when we get somebody who comes in and gigs us and they look at all the bad things that are happening, and this is where we get ratted out. Finding problems is only one of the aspects of internal auditing. There's some other great things that happen during internal audits. The other thing is that you get to anticipate risk. If you know that something might actually have the likelihood that something might go wrong, that there's a potential for something to go wrong, that gets identified during auditing as well. So you get a chance to act on it before it becomes a serious problem, before it starts to cost the organization money. One of the other neat things is that you get to benchmark good practices. If you observe something that is a good practice, the organization gets a chance to identify that and to transfer that which has been learned to other parts of the organization. Above and beyond that, you just get to discover these other wonderful ideas that help you to better serve your customers. So there is a direct link between internal auditing and satisfying your customers. Join me, Denise Robitaille, as we look at internal auditing.
The Introduction to Internal Auditing training video is available at PatonProfessional.com.